Hello, good morning. I am Ace Santos and I'll be presenting to you Project QGIS products for UHI mapping and monitoring. So to start, these maps that I'm showing you is the land surface temperature for Mandaue City in the year 2019. As we can see dun sa legend, going from low temperature to higher temperature, we have blue, green, yellow, and up to the red regions. Then if you look at yung April, so yung mga hotspot natin na yung mga highest temperature natin dito is yung mga darker red region. So yung mga same regions na to, we can observe in the other months. So like this for August naman, yung mga brighter red naman as compared dun sa mga lower temp na orange and yellow, sila naman yung mga naging yung red naman yung naging high temperature dito sa month na to. Then looking at what we can do sa LST, so like this, we can make a time series over an area na we can observe and analyze ano yung naging behavior ng temperature over time. So in this case, over a year, anong months yung naging mga pinakamaiinit. Doon ba sa mga colder months, sila pa rin ba yung mga hotspot? So similar to those observation, no? Then we can also do maybe a larger time difference, like 5-year or 10-year difference if you want, no, to observe ano nangyari 10 years within 10 years sa isang area. So if you have the data, we can do that in LST. So aside from LST, we also have yung mga output natin from NDMET. So in the previous presentation, this was discussed and explained in detail ni AJ. So here I have from scenario 1 to scenario 3, from top to bottom. And from left to right naman is yung 9 a.m., 1 p.m., and 5 p.m. respectively na mga time skip nila. So this map show yung potential air temp in the MC Briones Street, so one of the study site ni Mandaue. And similar with surface temperature, so ganun din. The surface temp are also from the NDMET products, no? Then we also have from the other study area, which is yung PUD1 or Mandaue. PUD1 Mandaue. And this one naman po is yung difference lang in potential air temp in the area. So we just subtracted yung, we have, so if you have yung potential air temp ni scenario 1 and then scenario 3, then we just subtract them, then we can get yung difference in potential air temp. Then we can analyze and observe ano ba nangyari, lumamig ba yung area nung ginawa natin yung scenario 3, uminit ba siya? So ayun, yun lang yung isa sa mga one of the things na we can do is as we analyze yung mga maps na ito. So based sa mga napakita kong products, so we have two main na ginagamit. One is yung LST or land surface temperature, and the other one is yung outputs from the NDMET, like yung air temperature maps natin. So the question is, madali ba siya ma-replicate yung process, yung workflow? Kaya ba siyang gawin ng LGU or ng students, for example, or ng anyone interested? So for the next few slides, I'm going to show you yung mga workflows, yung mga tools na ginamit ng project to create yung mga outputs na ito. So let's check first kung paano natin ginagawa yung LST. So LST is derived from satellite data or satellite images. So the first step in generating LST is to actually get the data or download or access the data. So yung traditional way natin is magda-download tayo ng data from websites that host mga publicly available na satellite data like Earth Explorer from USGS. So once na meron tayong data, we can put it in a processing platform like QGIS para ma-process natin siya. So may mga articles, may mga literatures na publish that shows how to compute LST from satellite data. So depending on your satellite, iba yung formula, iba yung literature na pwede nating magamit on processing the data. So once it's done, then we have yung LST layers natin. So yung project, we have two ways na on how we have generated yung mga LST products natin. So first is through yung Google Earth Engine or GE. So on the right, you can see yung code editor ng GE that you can access through this link. So ang kailangan mo lang naman dito is is a Google account, no? So what is GE? GE is a cloud-based geospatial processing platform. So kung familiar tayo sa ArcGIS or sa QGIS, so similar lang siya. However, we don't need to install like yung QGIS. So naka-host na lang siya sa internet. So we only need yung browser natin. And then just like nung sinabi ko kanina, i-access lang natin tong link na to. So what is the difference? Ano yung advantage niya over sa mga traditional na software like QGIS? So it has a large amount of publicly available remote sensing data. So yung one of problem na when using satellite data is masyadong malaki pag magda-download tayo. Minsan gigabyte maabot yung data natin. So pag mabagal yung internet connection natin, matagal bago pa tayo makapag-access ng satellite data. So with GE, you don't need to download yung raw na satellite data. So you can directly start with the processing. So another advantage over yung traditional software natin is ginagamit niya yung computational power ni Google. So unlike yung mga local PCs natin na most of the time naman is hindi kasing lakas ng Google computational power. So maganda to kasi mapapabilis yung processing time ng pag-process natin ng mga satellite images. However, yung downside niya is kailangan marunong ka mag-programming language, particularly JavaScript and or Python. So if as you can see do sa code editor nga ni GE, so this is a JavaScript code na nagpo-process ng satellite image. So if di ka marunong, maybe mahirapan kang paggamitin yung Google Earth Engine natin. However, may paraan pa rin naman if you're not familiar with code. So if you know someone or you can hire someone to make or to code sa GE para you can automate stuff na you can just click or put a few things as input para you don't need to code na. So I'll show you a short demo video dun sa ginawa ng project na app on generating LST sa GE. So mag-gets yung binabanggit ko sa part na ito. So here is the video. Hold on. Now this will be a short demo on how to use the Google Earth Engine app developed by the project. So if open natin yung mga browsers natin and if we go to this link, so it will direct us to this web page. The name of the app is GUHeat Engine and basically yung ginagawa niya is it automates yung pag-process ng land surface temperature from satellite images, particularly Landsat images. So to start processing, select natin which Landsat are we going to process. Then we can also select between day and night images. Then lalabas dapat yung mga satellite footprints ng Landsat over the Philippines. So per tile, iba-iba siya ng pattern row. So we need to know yung specific na pattern row sa area na interested tayo. So if you want this tile, for example, to just click over this area and then mag-update yung pattern row. Then we need to specify yung dates na interested tayo. Then we can click yung generate LST button pag okay na. It will process for a few seconds. So lalabas dapat yung mga images na pasok sa criteria na nilagay natin. So here we have two. So for February 5 and for February 21. So if we want to download the data, for example, we have two ways. So we can use yung view extent. Basically, kung ano yung nakikita natin sa map, yun yung ita-target niya for download. So pag click mo yung view extent, i-highlight niya in black yung buong map na nakikita natin sa screen natin. But if you want yung specific area lang, we can click on select map, select on map, and then we can just create a rectangle over the area na gusto natin i-download. Then after that, click yung generate links button. And then lalabas yung mga links for the images na pasok doon sa criteria natin. So click lang yung mga links and then mag-download na siya automatically. So yung file na mag-download natin is in zip format and we can just extract it. Pag na-extract na, we can put it in processing platform like QGIS or ARC. So that's it for the demo. So that's it for the Google Earth Engine part. So yung next method naman na ginagamit to generate LST ng project is through a QGIS plugin. So this, unlike yung GE din kasi, medyo nakadepende kay Google. So minsan if nag-update sa Google, so you have to update the code din. So medyo hassle lang minsan. So we made this plugin para if in the future i-cancel na ni Google yung Google Earth Engine or hindi na sila magkaroon ng free access to everyone. So at least meron tayong alternative. So yung similar lang din yung ginagawa from GE, so generating LST from Landsat data. So may ginawa kami for individual and batch processing sa plugin. And along with yung LST generator or LST calculator natin, meron kami mga in-include na processes sa plugin such as NetCDF to TIFF converter. But yeah, we'll be focusing on the QGIS plugin and also yung plugin will be available sa website that will be launched on the closing webinar. So here's the, I made also a short demo on how to use the plugin. Okay, so here's a short demo on how to use the plugin. Kapag ni-install nyo na yung plugin sa mga QGIS nyo, lalabas siya dito sa taas as GUHeat toolbox. Then if you click that, then these are the tools of the plugin. So we have automated some of the processes that the project has been doing. And for now, we are going to try yung land surface temperature na tool. So if you click that, it will open yung Landsat LST calculator natin. Then similar to the Google Earth Engine app, we have to select which Landsat or which satellite are we going to process. So for now, let's pick Landsat 8. Then we need to choose also whether to process individual data or batch data. So individual data. Then we need to set the directory of our input. So i-browse lang natin kung nasaan yung Landsat data natin. So for me, it's here. So just to see kung ano laman nun. So everything in here except yung output folder, itong mga naka-highlight na to, sila yung makikita nyo dapat sa mga Landsat folder natin. So these are the bands and this is the metadata. Okay, the next is we need to set also yung output path natin. So yung output folder kanina na ginawa ko, select ko yon. Then yung name nung file natin. So LST. Then if you click run, process siya. So it usually takes 3 to 5 minutes. Depende sa PC natin kung mabilis yung mag-process. Then yung pinakaiba with the batch process, pag sinelect natin yan, na-disable na yung output path. Then, we need to change yung input also. Kasi kanina, specific data lang yon kasi individual siya. Pero ngayon, for example, gusto natin mag-batch. So, if, for example, I have 4 Landsat data here. yung kailangan ko i-select is yung folder na laman ay ito. So, the folder 114053. So, okay na siya sa akin. Then, back to the output. So, since batch na nga siya, so, doon na sa each folder malalagay yung mga LST. So, kanya-kanyang LST na yon. Then, pag click yung run, mag-process siya ulit. Then, of course, matagal yung batch process kasi marami na sila. And just to show you the finished product of the plugin, so ito siya, yung LST. So, na-load ko na siya. And I think that's it for the demo on the QGIS plugin. So the GUHeat toolbox, GUHeat LST calculator. So the next naman po is after yung LSTs, yung mga outputs natin from NVMet. So NVMet is a software that allows the user to do a simulation sa mga area na sa study area natin. So yung products niya includes yung mga early condition ng study area, like yung pinakitang maps kanina, potential air temperature, land surface temperature din, and may wind speed and direction and humidity and some environmental factors din. So we have two main requirements before we can start yung simulation sa NVMet. So the first is yung model area. So as you can see sa right, this is a sample model area as viewed sa software na NVMet. So you can observe there are buildings, so may mga vegetation, yan. And the next requirement is yung initial meteorological factor. So these are yung initial condition nung place before starting the simulation. So ano yung temperature niya at the start of the simulation, ano yung wind speed, direction, etc. Other things na other conditions no area. And to show you lang how to create yung model area, I think this is the one or majority ng work time or nung pag-prepare natin ng simulation is from this part. So we can do this in two ways. So we can create manually yung mga model area natin in one of the NVMet apps then. So in here you have to draw yung mga buildings, yung mga vegetation, ititrace natin siya isa-isa manually. So this will take some time, especially if yung area na tina-target natin is malaki. Then another one is yung through yung mga traditional vector files natin or shape files kasi the NVMet can read a shape file. So if we have, for example, here, may mga shape file tayo ng mga buildings and vegetation. Then if you can see yung mga dots or the trees, no, parang you will place yung mga trees then and water. So once na na-set mo na yan, then pwede mo pa siya ipasok sa NVMet and it can create also a model area. Then if we have the requirements, the model area and the initial meteorological factors, then we can start doing the simulation. So if napasok nyo na yung mga inputs sa simulation, then magpa-process na siya. It usually takes mga several days or weeks depending on your machine and yung size ng area. So if hindi ganun kagandaan yung specs ng machine and if sobrang laki ng area na pinaprocess natin, then it will take longer time. So if tapos na yung processing, then we have yung mga results. Final notes. So the outputs of the project, so yung mga maps na pinakita namin, yung mga layers, will be available through yung website on the closing webinar, which is on August 14 nga. And yeah, this will include the maps, yung NVMet, yung LST, and yung mga published articles and some reports made by the project. So included din dito is yung step-by-step manual ng mga binanggit naming tools dito sa presentation. That will be included sa ebook na ilalagay din sa website. So, one last thing, also most of the processes and products na binanggit ko dito can be processed by almost everyone. So, if you have your machine, if you have the tools, the software, mostly naman is magagawa. However, may restriction lang on the part of the NBMEP kasi yung ginagamit namin is paid version. Although merong free version, but yung limit niya is hindi ganun kalaki yung area na mapaprocess. So if you want to know more about GE and NVMet, you can search on the web, or ito na pala yung website nila. So you can look for their documentation. And yeah, that's it for my presentation. Thank you very much.